Hello and welcome to Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is a strategy RPG based on the board game by Isaac Childress, and this is an extremely faithful adaptation, and thank you to Asmodee Digital for sponsoring this video. And if you'd like to check out Gloomhaven, which is just about to release, if it hasn't already released by the time you see this video, then you could check it out through the link in the description. And this has to be one of those games. I played this a long time ago. I've played it numerous times throughout its early access period, and it has only gotten better every single time I have delved into it. And that says a lot about the quality of the game. And it is developed by Flaming Fowl Studios and published by Asmodee Digital. And as I said before, it's kind of like a tactical RPG with cards, but it's a much more strategic experience than you'd think. Anyway, there is obviously a bunch of tutorials to do. There's a sandbox mode, so you can try out various abilities and things. There's also a campaign, which is very much like the traditional board game itself, so you get more of a classic experience. And then you have the Guild Master mode, which is a bit more of a shall we say, a slightly simpler mode, but still gives you that complexity that you want. And we're going to be checking out both of these modes. Campaign came out very recently, and Guild Master has been available for a while. And there are a wide variety of different characters and mercenaries that you're going to be able to use. Now, bear in mind that this is pretty crazy, the amount of customization you have as well. So let's just go into the Guild Master mode without further ado. Oh yeah, by the way, if that is not enough to whet your appetite, this game has co-op. Yeah, you can play this online with 2 to 4 players, and wow, I don't even know what to say. I mean, that's just so incredible to me. I am going to look forward to playing this very much. Anyway, let's create. Okay, so we have easy, normal, hard, insane. I've actually read a couple of reviews, which, by the way, it has 88% positive reviews overall, over 4,000 reviews on Steam. And here's the thing, someone said in one of their reviews that it was too easy, even on the highest difficulty, but that is obviously a very seasoned player. You know, they did say that they were a seasoned player of the board game itself, so in my opinion, that says that the game is very well balanced, and I personally am a big fan of that. I'm going to be playing on normal. I am kind of worried about playing on normal, actually. I kind of feel like I should... Oh, no. I chose Reformia for my other guild name, so I'm just going to call myself Reformian then, I suppose. And you could choose between shared gold, so all gold is shared across all mercenaries in the guild, or you could choose between split gold, which each mercenary manages their own individual amount of gold. I like shared gold, personally, so we're going to go for that. And normal basically gives neither the opponent or myself any kind of benefit whatsoever. So let's continue onward, and we're going to do the quick start because I've already done the tutorials. I've done the tutorials, you know, a bunch of times, not just, you know, this time delving into the game, but I've done them before as well. And I've also done the story introduction too, where you go and you participate in a couple of, shall we say, character introductions and everything. So we're going to skip the tutorial and the introduction and just go straight into the Guild Master mode. Now, this game has a lot of mechanics, and if you check out the game, and I'd highly recommend doing that, the tutorials are very good. They give you a wide variety of understanding and just generally have great pacing as well. And these are the characters we currently have. Now, you start on the world map, and the map is actually pretty large, as you can see right here. Look at this. I mean, you can see that the Fog of War is pretty large here anyway, and you have a wide variety of different objectives you're going to be able to do as well. Now, I would love to be able to add an additional mercenary, so I'd like to get the Mindthief. Personally, the Mindthief is one of my favorite characters, mainly because they can summon things, and there are a lot of other mercenaries available as well. I believe there are, I think, 17 or 19 mercenaries. I think 17 mercenaries available, and they all have a wide variety of different ways that they can play. So, for example, the Tinkerer is like a ranged support that specializes in AoE damage. Cragheart is kind of like a really big, beefy tank. And you have Spellweaver, who's capable of using a lot of very, very complicated to use abilities, but they are extremely effective if you are good at using them. And then the Mindthief, as I said before, is a pretty interesting one because you can mind control enemies, you can summon your own, well, minions, I suppose, to do your bidding, and generally I like the Mindthief a great deal, so I'm going to be playing with the Mindthief as well as the Brute and the Scoundrel. I personally find Brute to be one of the most useful characters in the game, and hopefully we're going to be able to do something there. So here we go, this is where we currently are, and we can now go to either one of these places. So we can go over here and complete the Hollow Men quest, or we can go over here. This area of merchant camps is now silent due to nightly bandit raids. Set a trap and drive the bandits away. And the objective is to kill 8 bandit archers, or a bandit archer elite, bandit guard elites to win. And we're going to be getting experience and all that stuff. So this is the merchant as well, by the way. So if you don't know anything about Gloomhaven, then you won't know, but this is also an RPG, very much so, and you can gain a wide variety of different items and equipment that you're going to be able to actually use on your characters. So for example, if I wanted to use a Cloak of Invisibility during your turn, you gain invisible. This is very good, in my opinion, for the Mindthief. Although there are numerous reasons why the Mindthief is actually quite strong if you have your summon available, but I'll get into that as we progress onward. Heater Shield is fantastic as well. As you see here, when damaged by an attack, you gain a shield for the attack, and it blocks 1 damage from that. And then you have a lot of other options as well, and you can also sell things too if you want to, so that's really nice. And then you have the Trainer. Welcome to the Trainer. On this screen, you'll see all the in-game achievements that you can attempt and the rewards you get for completing them. The most important ones will initially be the exploration missions that gradually unlock parts of the map, but be sure to return here to cash in any achievements you complete. So you unlock 9 locations. There you go, unlock 9 locations. Then we can obviously gain experience with all the different mercenaries, and you can see just how many there actually are to do here. So many, it's crazy. And then you obviously have relics here, take damage, kill bandit archers and things like that. And then you have the temple. Now, I actually don't know what the temple is all about, so let's have a look. Mercenaries will be blessed every time they give a donation of 10 gold to the Temple of the Great Oak. A blessed mercenary will gain 2 additional attack modifiers in the next dungeon. Ah, that's actually fantastic. All right, so blessings. Okay, so if you play on easy difficulty, which I'd recommend probably if you have no experience with the game at all, but I'd recommend playing on easy for the first time, you're going to be getting blessings for your mercenaries for the most part, and that's going to really help you out. As you can quite clearly tell, having additional attack modifiers is a big deal. It really makes a huge amount of sense. Okay, so I'm thinking we're pretty good with what we have right here, so we're going to now move on to this place. Now might be a good time to go through the Merc's ability cards and inventory to make sure they are battle ready. In the quest description, you can see the enemies you'll face. Hovering over them will reveal their stats. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with how we have everything here, I think, because as you see, they all have their abilities, and they can also unlock new and more powerful ability cards each time they level up. Look for synergies between ability cards and adapt your hand depending on the enemy types you'll be facing. Having the right cards against the right enemies might just keep you alive. On the ability panel, you can edit the deck of cards you take to a dungeon. Each mercenary has a different amount of cards they can carry and can only go adventuring with a fully equipped hand. Hover over the abilities to view their full description. Okay, so personally, I'm pretty happy with what we have right here. I really like what the Mindthief has available. I personally find the Mindthief to be one of the most fun characters, as I've said already. And let's go and travel. And then we'll see what we can... Ah, look at this. We're already getting a random encounter. This is going to be fun. Okay, let's have a look. The looted body of an Enox lies slumped against... Or an Elnox? I actually can't tell. Against a tree stump up ahead. As you get closer, you notice a dagger protruding from her chest. Ooh. Okay, well, removing the dagger is usually something that you don't want to do, but I think if we were to leave her, nothing's really going to happen. So let's remove the dagger. The corroded blade breaks off as you try to remove the dagger from her chest, and you manage to cut yourself on the broken blade. You are suddenly overcome with a feeling of intense sickness. It would appear that the blade was coated in poison. You toss the useless hilt aside and continue down the road, feeling awful. And we have now been poisoned. Great, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. That's just fantastic. Okay. You find a large clearing in a small copse and set it up to look like any normal merchant's camp. As night falls, you hear low voices converge on your location. As they charge into the clearing, you jump up, ready to teach the bandits a lesson they won't forget. However, you just didn't expect there to be quite so many of them. Alright, before entering a dungeon, each mercenary must choose 1 out of 2 battle goals. A battle goal is a secret objective the mercenary tries to complete inside the dungeon. Failing it has no drawback, but successfully completing it and the scenario will earn the character the rewards shown. So, for example, with the Brute here, gain 13 or more experience points during the scenario, or kill 5 or more monsters during the scenario. It really doesn't matter either way for me. I think I'm probably going to try and earn the experience, I guess. And then for the Scoundrel, use your equipped items a number of times equal to or greater than your level +2 during the scenario, or allow none of your allies to become exhausted. I think allow none of your allies to become exhausted. I'm going to hope for that at least. And then for the Mindthief, loot 5 or more gold piles during the scenario, or have 1 or more monsters present on the map at the beginning of every round during the scenario. At the beginning of every round? Oh, that means we have to be really fast to go into the next room. Well, that's not really going to work, but I might try it out. I mean, loot 5 or more gold piles during the scenario. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. I think I might be able to do it, but not with the Mindthief, potentially. I mean, maybe I will, but it's only 3 experience. I'm going to go for Aggressor. Maybe be a little bit audacious, potentially. So we'll see how that goes. Let's do it. Alright, so this is our first piece of combat, and I'm going to explain things as we go, because things are quite difficult, or shall we say, maybe a little bit more intricate to understand than you might think for a card-based combat system, but it is quite simple once you get a good understanding of it. Anyway, this is a bounty mission, which means to succeed, you will need to kill a certain number of enemies. The good news is that the whole battle will take place in this single clearing. The bad news is that enemies will keep spawning until you kill enough. Fantastic. And we're also poisoned, of course. So that's even better. Yes, wonderful. Okay. So, this is an elite enemy. So obviously he's going to be much harder than everything else to kill. So let's see what we can do first. So I'm going to attempt with the Brute to disarm the Bandit Guard Elite. I will try to disarm him, or maybe we should try to do something else. There are a number of traps on the floor, and by the way, traps, you can push enemies into them, and they will take damage. And even if they have a shield like this, their shield will not help them against trap damage and environmental damage. They will take full damage from that. So that is something to bear in mind. Anyway, let's take a look here. That actually seems pretty cool, but that is not going to be enough. Is it? Maybe it will be enough. So sweeping blow. So maybe what I can do is I can do sweeping blow, push him onto that trap, but then I won't be able to use provoking roar to be able to disarm him. And I want to disarm him pretty badly. So I'm thinking we'll try for something else. Maybe we'll go for... I mean, overwhelming assault looks pretty fun, but then you're going to have to burn the card. Burning cards basically removes them from your selection, from your deck. Ooh, I could use trample. That might be fun. Okay, let's try that. So if I go here, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go there, and then I pass through him. That's going to deal 2 damage to pass through him, as you can see. And then I'll be able to use Provoking Roar, which is another 2 damage, or hopefully 2 damage. And then we will disarm him, which is obviously something that we want to do. So I'm thinking we'll do that. Okay, so now, here's the thing. The one core rule you need to learn or remember is that every ability that you select is going to determine your initial initiative. So example here, Provoking Roar has a value of 10. So if you select that first, then your initiative in the next round is going to be 10. So if your enemies have a lower initiative than that, then they are going to be able to go before you in the turn order. But if they are higher, then obviously you're going to get to go first. Even if you select something like Trample or Grab and Go or whatever, then it's still going to be good for you. And that is going to be fine. I'm actually thinking we'll go for Grab and Go here because I don't want to burn Trample right now. So I'm going to go for Grab and Go, and then we'll go on to our next person and select what they want to go for. I'm going to try and eliminate that Bandit Archer, I suppose, and I'd like to pull her. Okay, I'd like to pull her. So what we're going to try to do is there we go, Smoke Bomb. This is a pull type mechanic. So if I'm able to get over, I might be able to get over here and then pull her this way, but I don't know whether I can do that. I might not be in range, to be honest. Might be a bit too far away. Yeah, it might be a bit too far away. So maybe what we want to do instead is something like maybe flanking strike. That's not really going to work. Invisible sounds really good though, because then what we can do is on your next attack while invisible, double the value of the attack and gain 2 of this. So that's really, really strong, but that's going to get burned as well. Yeah, I think we'll probably have to go for what I said, and we'll try the pull, but I don't know whether it's going to work. It probably won't be in range. So we need to find something that allows me to move. This one allows me to move, but that's it. Wow, that's really not very good. Huh. I might just have to go for throwing knives then, or I could pull this guy once he's been disarmed into the trap. That might make more sense. Okay. Let's just focus on eliminating the Bandit Guard Elite, because it's more than likely that the Bandit Archer might not even be able to do much. They might be able to, but we always have healing abilities, and we do have a minor stamina potion as well. I guess that's going to help slightly. Yes, and we also have special mixture here. As you can see, she can heal herself, and so on. And now you may be thinking, okay, how do the cards work? Well, here's the thing. If you select 2 cards, and you go for, let's say I want to use Smoke Bomb's invisibility, well, then I cannot select another option on the top of a card. So, for example, if I wanted to go for Smoke Bomb's invisibility and Venom Shiv's poison, I can't do that. I can only do the movement of the bottom section of the card. So you have to be very selective in that regard as well. Okay, so first of all, let's find a move mechanic on the top. Is there one that I can do? Yes, quick hands. Okay, so we'll go for Smoke Bomb, and we'll go for quick hands, and that is what we'll go for. And then the Mindthief. Okay, so we want to summon something really, really fast right here. So I'm going to try to summon Gnawing Horde. This is going to summon a Plague Rat for me to use, and the Plague Rat is going to attack very, very basically. It's just going to go towards the enemy and then attack. And there are a number of other things that you have to take into account with the Mindthief as well. This is the reason why I really love this character, because it has the ability to, as I said before, mind control enemies. And it can also push enemies. It can do, it's just so much stuff. It's just great. And we are going to probably go for empathetic assault, potentially. No, that's going to burn it. This looks good, but that's going to stun it. Going to go for Into the Night, I suppose. Into the Night sounds fun because that's going to make him invisible. And then we'll go for that. There we go. Alright, so that's what we're going to go for right now. And as you can see, look at... Oh, these guys are so sneaky. Look at that. They are attempting very hard to be able to move quite fast right now. And we also have a minor healing potion on... Brute here, so even if, you know, we do need to, we can do something with him there. Okay, so let's move over here, and then we will disarm him straight away. So let's move him here, and then we will attack with Provoking Roar. We're just going to skip the rest of the movement, and we're going to attack him with Provoking Roar. It's only going to deal 1 damage, but it is going to disarm him. Oh, never mind, it actually got a +2 attack modifier. That's fantastic. That's really, really good. That means that we are doing even more damage. Pretty happy with that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use quick hands. We're going to move over here. We're going to have to skip the attack, unfortunately. But then we can use smoke bomb to pull this guy into this trap. Like so. And now he has taken 3 damage as a result of that. And that was unblockable for his shield as well. Bear in mind, he's still disarmed. He's still disarmed, so he cannot do any damage to us whatsoever. Alright, so, apart from that, let's summon the Plague Rat. We're going to summon it right there, right next to the Bandit Guard Elite, so it can do damage, potentially. And bear in mind that the Plague Rat also has the ability to afflict poison, which is great. And now, what else do we have here, by the way? Oh, look at that. We even have a poison dagger on the Mindthief as a default, default piece of equipment. And during a melee attack, add poison to a single attack. That's pretty cool. But I'm going to go invisible for the moment, because I don't want to get shot. The Mindthief is very fragile, as you can see. He only has 6 HP. So he's going to be a little bit, a little bit difficult to play with. But there's something you can do. I'm going to just receive this damage, I think. Oh, ×2. Ow. Okay, that hurt, but that's fine. That is not a problem for me. I'm going to take that 4 damage. The Bandit Guard Elite wasn't able to do anything, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And bear in mind, I still have that healing potion. There's another Bandit Guard over there as well. So don't worry, we're going to be absolutely fine. Now, as I was about to say, the Mindthief has a specific mechanic that you can use with your summons. It's the same thing with the Summoner class as well, because there's also a class in the game called the Summoner. I haven't shown you all the classes yet, but later on in the episode, I will show you the campaign mode, and I'll show you all of their personal objectives and all this crazy, more in-depth stuff that the game has available for you. Anyway, the mechanic basically goes that if you're at the same range, like let's say I am standing in these 2 hexes here right next to the Bandit Guard, if you're standing there with the Mindthief and his summon, the enemy will always attack the summon first. So you don't have to worry about the Mindthief being attacked randomly right there. So that is really, really useful. Anyway, I'm thinking we're probably just going to go and attack this guy just straight up with something. And I'm not entirely sure what to do. I'll go for eye for an eye, I suppose. And we'll try and maybe heal ourselves a little bit. And then we'll just attack with spare dagger, I guess. I mean, what else is there? I mean, I could push him. That's going to do 3 damage. I mean, I really like the warding strength shield ability. I think the shield is great. We could also do that. Leaping cleave sounds really fun, actually, but actually, you know what? Yes, let's use this, and then we're going to use trample to pierce through this guy's shield, and then we're going to use the remaining characters to do other stuff. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, that sounds good to me. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to try and eliminate the Bandit Archer if I can. So I'm going to try and get over there as fast as possible. So Venom Shiv looks to be the name of the game right here. Venom Shiv is going to really help us out quite a bit. So bear in mind, it works relatively similar to other RPGs, where if you get into range of a ranged character, if you get into melee with them, then they're going to suffer disadvantage as a result, and then they're going to have a very hard time to deal damage against you. And so that's something I would like to accomplish, if at all possible here. I'm going to go for... I would like to go for backstab. Backstab's a burn. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do a burn at the moment. I'm going to go for Venom Shiv, but then I also need to go for throwing knives, but this is not going to help me that much to eliminate them that fast. I could do special mixture. That's not going to really help me either, though. I think I'm going to have to do that. I will have to do backstab. I will have to burn something, unfortunately. It seems like I will have to burn something, and then maybe a long rest with the Scoundrel will have to be done at some point. But yeah, we're going to have to do that. And then what else can we do here? Well, I'm hoping that Brute is going to kill this Bandit Guard Elite, so the Mindthief should probably be moving somewhere else over here and maybe doing something to force the enemy to move. Oh yes! So this is also the reason why I absolutely love the Mindthief, because you can mind control people, as I said. So this is something that I really, really find super fun, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to utilize it relatively well. So let's see what I can do here. So this guy has 6 HP, so if I mind control him to move on to this trap, he's then going to have 3 HP. So can I do 3 damage after that? Let's see. Doesn't see. Yeah, I can, but it's going to burn something. Actually, I need to find a move. I need to do this. I need to do Scurry, which is not something I really want to do. I don't want to move into range of this guy, do I? But I could then poison him, which might make sense. We could push him. We could push him onto a trap. But then we've got to move ourselves. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I don't even need to do anything specifically. Maybe all I need to do is just use Parasitic Influence. So let's try and find something that I can do. Maybe Scurry would be quite good to go for. So let's just do that. And let's try and keep the Mindthief out of harm's way for the most part. Okay, so yes. Okay, so the Bandit Guard Elite and the Bandit Guard are going to be able to attack before Brute is able to. So I'm very much hoping that the Bandit Guard Elite will attack my Plague Rat and nothing else. So we'll see whether that actually happens. Anyway, we're going to move. Should I try poisoning? I could try poisoning. That's going to do 3 damage. It's not going to burn the card either, which I very much like. Yeah, let's do that instead, shall we? Okay, so let's do this. We're going to go over here. What is that over there? It's a spawner. Oh, so that's where the enemies actually spawn. Or near to that. What if I stand on that? Does that do anything? Next round, it's going to spawn a bandit archer. Okay, well, let's move over there and see what happens. And then let's attack. Boom. 0 damage. That is to be expected, because we did have an attack modifier, as you can see right there. So that obviously puts paid to that. But we did manage to poison the archer, which I think is pretty good. Now let's see what this guy decides to do. He's using a double shield? He's using a double shield. Okay, that's kind of crazy. Okay, so let's burn one of our cards right here. So we're going to burn... I'm thinking we'll probably burn something like... Warding Strength is really nice, in my opinion. I quite like that, but I'm going to burn Warding Strength. There you go. So now, whenever you burn a card in response to taking damage, you then don't take that damage. So you just burn the card instead of taking the damage, and that is your sacrifice for that, which in my opinion is very, very useful. Now this guy completely wasted his turn, by the way, adding his shield, because now what I can do is I can literally just trample and he's dead. Like that, because I have Pierce, you see? Pierce will go through the exact amount of shield that it has detailed here. So he had 2 shields and it went through 2 shields. So he theoretically, or basically, had no shield available for him, which is kind of a crazy thing anyway. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of cool, right? So what we're going to do now is we're just going to heal up Brute. And we are now going to end his turn. I'm actually thinking maybe I should use my healing potion. I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave it for the moment. And my Plague Rat's... yeah, my Plague Rat is going to move very, very slowly towards the enemy now. But now here we go. Let's do this. And look at this. Look at what I can do right now. I can literally mind control this guy And now I can tell him, hey, it's probably a good idea to step onto that trap over there. So let's do that. There we go. Boom. And now he took 3 damage as a result of that. That is amazing. I love that. Okay. Now, what we can otherwise do is we can move over here, deal 1 damage, but that's not really going to do anything unless I gain some kind of crazy attack modifier. Or I could poison him. I could theoretically poison him, which might make sense. Or I could move over there and try and help out our scoundrel, who is probably going to need some assistance at some point. But at the moment, I don't really know. I mean, we could. I mean, we're still invisible, so... I mean, how long does the invisibility actually last now? Doesn't seem to let me know that, so maybe I can just go over to the gold here and just pick up the gold, I guess. So let's just skip the movement, skip the attack, and we can also end Mindthief's turn. He's going to pick up that gold. Okay, the archer's going to attack. As you can see, it deals no damage whatsoever, but they have now immobilized, and as you can see, the disadvantage only deals 1 damage to the scoundrel. I'm going to take the 1 damage with that, no problem at all there. And now there are 2 archers in that area. That's kind of hilarious, because now I have AoE abilities with Brute, and I will be able to move over there, or at least I hope I will be able to move over there. So, let me see. Leaping Cleave sounds like it's fun. I'm probably going to use that, but I need to then find some way to move over there first. So that's the problem. I could go for a short rest, which would then enable me to gain all of these things, all of these cards back, but 1 is then burned randomly. So I'm going to lose a card, which I generally don't want, but bear in mind that 3 movement points is not enough to be able to get over there, as you can see. So I'm going to have, what is this, 1, 2, 3, certainly not enough to get over there. But if I had grab and go, that's 4, I would be able to make it over there. So let's do a short rest and see what we can do. Of course Trample is going to, okay, yeah, let's just burn Trample then, I guess. Trample is really good, in my opinion. I love the Pierce, but I mean, grab and go is now available, so that's kind of amazing, and I like that quite a bit, so I'm pretty happy with that. And otherwise, Provoking Roar, grab and go, I'm happy with that. And now we're going to use... We could use Throwing Knives, that's going to do a lot of damage. I think we will probably do Throwing Knives. Yeah, I mean, we could basically do... I'd like to heal, but that is not available, really. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. So I suppose Throwing Knives is going to be what we'll go for, and then maybe just a regular attack with Thief's Knack, I guess something like that. And now we'll see what we can do with our Mindthief. So he's out of invisibility now, so let's see what else we can do here. Okay. Well, my rat is still, unfortunately, not really available to attack anything at the moment. So what about Mind's Weakness, Feedback, Loop? That might be fun. Let's do these 2. And now bear in mind, I am selecting these so that he goes last in the round. I'm selecting these very, very slow cards because they're 75 initiative, as I don't really want him to go first here. Alright. So, my Scoundrel's going first. So, we're going to do massive damage right here. So, I'm going to do attack on this, attack on this. You can attack 2 targets with this particular attack. And we're going to do that. Nice. And let's see how much damage we do with this one. Oh, very small amounts of damage because of the attack modifier, unfortunately. And now we're just going to attack and kill this one, hopefully. Yeah, look at that, massive damage. We got a really good attack modifier there too. So that really helped us out. Okay, so now we should either go over here and try and lock this guy down with a disarm, or we should go over here and try and help out our Scoundrel. Now, we can see what they're going to do by mousing over their portraits at the top of the screen right here. So you can see that this Bandit Guard, for example, which one is that actually? I assume it's this one. Yeah, he's going to move. Then he has the ability to attack from range. This guy's also going to do the same thing. So they're basically doing the exact same thing every single time. So This is obviously a bit of a problem here, but just think about this. We can count. We can obviously count 1, 2, 3. But yes, generally you're going to be able to work out where they're going to be able to reach with their cards and their actions. So 1, 2, and then he can attack 2 hexes away. So 1, 2, 1, 2. No, he can't actually reach anyone right now, so he's going to be basically useless. This guy, on the other hand, he will easily be able to attack something, so I'm very much hoping that my Plague Rat will be able to get into range. So I'm thinking that maybe what we want to do is we want to use Boots of Striding as well as Grab and Go, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the way here. Yes, I'm actually going to go straight into their midst, and I'm going to use Disarm against the Bandit Guard. Because I'm in melee range with the archer, that's giving her disadvantage, so it's going to be very difficult for her to be able to do anything against us, and it's also going to prevent the Bandit Guard from doing any damage whatsoever. You see where the strategy comes in and the complexity of the gameplay? Yeah, pretty cool, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Thankfully, I did not step on any traps. I actually forgot to check for any traps along the way there. That would have been pretty bad, wouldn't it? Yes. Okay, thankfully we actually did get a +1 attack modifier, and as a result we were able to kill the Bandit Guard. And now that, I mean, I still need to kill 5 enemies. I should be able to kill this archer relatively fast. The Bandit Guard on this side might be a little bit difficult, so I'm thinking we might use the healing potion right now. Just to make sure that we top up Brute as much as possible. You can only use it once per battle, by the way, so obviously you can't spam it. And now the Bandit Guard is going to get to move. He can't do anything from that range. And now the Bandit Archer will move away, but of course... yes, okay, we're going to have to burn a card right here. I'm going to burn Single Out. Yes, just burn that. There we go. And yeah, that's going to... Oh, that actually dealt a good deal of damage, didn't it? Okay, let's just burn a card here. I don't really know what to burn right now. I'm going to... Spare Dagger is so fantastic. I'm going to burn Eye for an Eye, I guess. Yeah, I'll burn Eye for an Eye. Why not? Okay. So now, we have the ability to use our Mindthief to do whatever we want. So, we can move and then Muddle. Okay, so Muddle is something really cool. So Muddle gains disadvantage on all of its attacks. Crazy. Yeah. Really, really good. So if I want to, I can use this, and I can move through this guy. He's going to gain Muddle, so then he's going to get disadvantage, and then I'll be able to attack, maybe with this. As you see, on your melee attack, you gain +2 attack as well. So that's really kind of amazing. But what else do we get here? So I could use this instead, and then I could use this, but this is not really leading me anywhere. So theoretically, it's probably a better idea to go this way. But then that's also... that does allow me to go over that trap. So I could go here, but that's all I could do. And I couldn't apply Muddle, but going into melee range with the archer is pretty much what we want anyway, because that's going to force disadvantage on her as it is. So I think that's what we're going to do. And by the way, jump basically makes it so that your ground effects, any ground effects that you're going to step on, they are not applied to your character when you use a card or a movement card with jump on it. So you don't need to worry about that. Alright, let's attack. Nice damage. Okay, let's end the turn. Another archer, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Another Bandit Guard here over there, though. I could use Overwhelming Assault. This might be really fun, actually. Overwhelming Assault might be cool. And then I could use Shield Bash to shield myself. Okay, I think that's probably what we're going to do with Brute. That sounds fun. And then... Oh, yeah, we basically have nothing that we can do with our Scoundrel. We're going to have to do a long rest relatively soon, but not just yet. So I'm thinking we'll probably do Flanking Strike and, well, we can only choose these two, so there's not much else. But, so we're going to attack... We're going to attack there, and then we could move, and then we could target one adjacent enemy and then poison, or I could just run away, I guess. I mean... Or we could just do a short rest, and we could gain back a lot of cards in the meantime. That might make more sense. Let's just do that. Burn Thief Snack. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better because now we have more options, right? So I think that's probably a better idea. So I'm thinking we'll probably use Backstab, but that's going to burn it, which is not really great. We could do Throwing Knives. Yes, Throwing Knives sounds good. Okay, so we're going to do Throwing Knives, and then we can potentially move with Venom Shiv or something like that. We could also Poison with Special Mixture if we want to. Pulling is pretty good too, but we can't really pull anyone anywhere. It doesn't really do much. So I'm thinking Venom Shiv sounds like a plan. And now I'm going to do Fearsome Blade. And what's this? Force one enemy to perform an attack targeting another enemy with you controlling the action. Yeah, that's super fun as well in my opinion. So we're going to do something like this. I'm trying to maintain my Mindthief's cards as much as possible here. So I'm trying not to burn them that much. So yeah, there we go. Oh wow, look at that. Their initiative is really slow here. Okay, very surprised to see that. Okay, so we're now going to move. So I'm going to move way out here, by the way. Way out. So round about here, I guess. Can I still attack around here? I'm not entirely sure whether that is the case. Can I attack around obstacles? Because it actually says obstacle here. So that is a real thing. So I'm not entirely sure whether it only affects movement or whether it affects attack as well. So I'm just going to play it safe. And we're just going to then attack these two right now. Nice damage. Taking out that one. Oh, we got a -2. Wow, that's really bad. Okay. Well, can't do much about that now. Okay, now it's the Brute's turn. Okay, here we go. Overwhelming Assault is going to be super fun to watch. Or is it? Because technically I could... Oh, I can't really do much else. Yeah, I'm just going to do Overwhelming Assault to kill this guy straight up. Boom. It's always super fun to watch Overwhelming Assault. Okay, and then we're just going to do a nice little shield on him. There we go. Alright, that's looking pretty nice. And now the Plague Rat is going to move extremely slowly. You know, my Mindthief, apart from the fact that it can mind control, the summon itself, the Plague Rat, is, in this particular battle, being rather disappointing, I've got to say. I actually felt like, hey, you know what? This guy's going to be super useful. But no, he's only got 1 movement point. So obviously he's going to take his time to go wherever he can. But yeah. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so we're going to do... Yeah. Within range to attack. Targeting another enemy. Well, this is not really going to help me out that much. So, you know what we could do? We could use our default action. So every single card, or at least I think most cards, will have a default action. One is attack 2, and one is movement 2. So you can decide either way. And each of these are tied to a particular... slot, so either the top slot or the bottom slot of the card. So for example, movement is usually tied to the bottom slot and attack is usually tied to the top. So if you want to, you could basically do something like this, where you could move by default, and then you could do Fearsome Blade if I wanted to, or you could do something else. I am personally thinking we will... I mean, this is going to burn it. I don't really want to burn it. So we're just going to attack like this. Skip the movement. Attack. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Shall we do the Poison Dagger? Let's do the Poison Dagger. Nice. Okay, and now we can push. So theoretically we can push. I don't see any traps anywhere, so I'm actually going to skip the push for the moment. If there was a trap behind her, then I would do that, and then she would be dead. But unfortunately there isn't. Wow, 4 damage. Okay, let's burn a card. Let's burn this one. There we go. That's the first one that we're burning with the Mindthief, by the way. And look at that. There's the disadvantage coming up right there. 0 damage being dealt as a result. And now the Bandit guard's going to get into range. Unfortunately, massive damage once again. We're going to have to burn a card. I'm going to burn Quick Hands, I suppose. Right? Yeah, burn that one. Okay, so now... Can we actually kill this in one turn? Doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna go short rest. And we're gonna do... Yeah, we're gonna do provoking roar and spare dagger. And that's what we're gonna do with the brute. I'm just gonna try and eliminate the archer as fast as possible. And then the same thing with this guy. So I'd like to kill him as soon as possible if I can. So you could poison. I can backstab. Backstab might be fun. I could pull. But then I'm going to need to move. Heal might be good, actually. Can I attack? No. Well, this is problematic. I'm gonna have to use flanking strike at some point. And then I will use special mixture, I suppose. That seems to be the way to go here. And I'm gonna do short rest. Feedback loop is gonna be lost, which is kind of bad, but you could redraw, but I don't really want to do that right now, so I'm actually just gonna leave it the way it is. And I really want to stun this guy. So I'm going to use Perverse Edge, because you can actually stun him. As you see, it uses a range of 2, and I can stun him from 2 hexes away. And that's hopefully going to be really good for us. And then that's the bottom one, so we need to look for a good top slot ability here. Wow, look at that. You can literally heal yourself. That is super powerful, actually. I'm thinking a movement card, so I think Scurry would probably be the best. So we'll do something like that, and we're all doing really, really low initiative moves as well. And we just need to kill 3 more enemies. It's not going to be that difficult, in my opinion. So let's attack with this. Wow. We pulled the disadvantage. We really did. We pulled the disadvantage. That is really, really bad. Okay, let's move over here because I'm pretty sure we're... Actually... Let's move over here. We're going to pick up the gold. Skip the ability. I mean, we might as well pick up some gold, right? I mean, we haven't picked up barely any right now, so, you know, it might be an idea. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stun this guy. Hopefully. Oh, wow, we're doing some pretty good damage as well, hilariously enough. So we're going to just stun that. And then we are going to probably move over here. We can pick up the gold. Is this guy stunned? Yeah, this guy's stunned, so he can't do anything next turn. So if I move here, then I will be able to still attack, and I can pick up the gold at the same time. So let's skip the movement. Oh, wow, I could actually deal massive damage to this guy in the meantime, too, but I'd like to kill the archer first. There we go. We just need to kill 2 more enemies. But you see what I mean about the Mindthief. The Mindthief has just so much trickery and really, really fun mechanics to work with. Really, really enjoyable to play. Okay, otherwise, provoking roar. Just gonna disarm, and then we're gonna just use spare dagger. Yeah, we're gonna get a couple of disadvantages here, unfortunately, for some reason. But yeah, you know, that's not really that big a deal to me because I've disarmed the archer. That's all I really wanted to do in the first place, and we'll probably do a short rest in the next turn. Who's that? That's just a regular bandit archer doing not much damage to my plague rat. Don't really care about that anyway because it is just a summon. So, you know, those kinds of things, not really that big a deal. Alright, so Shield Bash is probably going to be something I'm going to use straight away here. And then we can push if we want to. I don't really mind. I think we are going to be... We're going to be pretty good here now. So I'm going to do short rest. Throwing that... okay, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of annoying that that's happening, but alright, alright. Okay, backstab is going to be something that I would want to use, so we're going to do that. And we're then going to use special mixture too. Okay, we can use invisibility if we want to, but I don't think we need to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use Fearsome Blade. And We could do force one. Okay. This is good. Okay, I'm actually thinking something really, really fiendish right here. So what we could do is we could use Fearsome Blade to push this guy 3 spaces. Or up to 3 spaces. So we could basically push him over here, right? Then I could use Parasitic Influence to force him to move, and then he would literally move onto the trap, and he would die. That is amazing. Okay, yeah, we're probably going to do that. That sounds fun to me. So, let's do it. There we go. Alright. One of them is going to move before me. One Bandit Archer is going to move before me, but that's okay. And we're going to move here. Yes. Yep, that is looking pretty good, I think. We're gonna go round about here, I guess. And skip movement. Then we'll poison this guy, even though I think he's already poisoned, isn't he? Not entirely sure, but we're gonna do it anyway. And then we're gonna backstab. Look at the damage! Yeah, because of all these modifiers right here. It adds a +2 attack when the target is adjacent to any of your allies. Obviously he is. He's right next to Brute right there. And gain +2 attack when he's not adjacent to any of his allies, which of course he's not. So he's all by himself and he's gonna die. Look at that. Insta-kill right there. So much damage can be dealt that way. Really amazing. Okay, so we're just gonna stun. Hopefully this is gonna be good. Yeah, oh, ×2 as well. ×2, look at that. We literally just did 8 damage. I was not anticipating 8 damage, that's for sure. Alright. And now we can move. So, theoretically we can move around here. I guess we might as well. Okay, they're going to do some damage to the rat. Not that big a deal, as I say. That's the reason why I absolutely love summons as well, because... Oh, look at how much damage it dealt. Look at that, 3 damage. That's crazy. But yeah, this is the reason why I really love summons in this game as well, because you're able to... Oh, 5 damage too, look at that. You're able to have, like, a damage absorber just without really doing anything, you know? It's just so nice. And now I'm actually kind of sad because I'm not able to do the thing that I wanted to do, and now I'm just going to kill this guy off. But I guess I shouldn't really complain. Okay, so now theoretically I can tell this guy to move, but where am I going to tell him to move? Well, not really anywhere, right? So I guess just skip the ability and end the turn. Wow, it really? He moved all the way over there to deal 0 damage. That's funny. And there you go. There's victory. I don't think they'll be coming back in a hurry. And there you go. So we didn't... Well, we were able to do some of the personal goals, as you can see right here. So we didn't do the workhorse thing, unfortunately. But we were able to do Aggressor for my Mindthief, so he gains 6 experience just from that. And we also did the Protector thing as well, which is pretty cool. And then otherwise, as you see, there are a whole bunch of other tasks that you can accomplish, and these are all going to give you additional rewards and things like that. So that's obviously something to aim for, little miniature goals that you can try to accomplish. And we can now... Oh, look at that. We found a new item design, a minor mana potion design. Very nice indeed. Let's claim those rewards. I managed to do a deal with one of the local merchants, getting a stock of minor mana potions, so hit me up for one when you have some spare gold. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Merchant. Very good. And as you can see, my Mindthief is way out in front in terms of experience. Scoundrel's doing very well too, and Brute is way behind, which is to be expected, of course. Anyway, we now have another task. To cleanse the Oasis of Vermling presence, which is over here. There you go. So then you have huge amounts of different enemies once again. You see all these different enemies right here? They're completely different than what we just fought. The enemy variety in this game is insane. It's so incredible. And then apart from that, you can also fight some undead if you want to do that as well. Alright, so I think that's enough of checking out the Guildmaster mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the main menu, and I'm going to show you the start of the campaign mode. Now, obviously, there's modding available and a level editor too, so if you want to do that, then, you know, you can. And then we can go into the campaign. So, this is the campaign. So this is very much a very accurate, faithful recreation of the actual board game here. And I'm gonna, you know, I'm just gonna do easy because I'm not really gonna go into the game here. I'm just gonna show you the start of what the campaign is all about, because it's a very different experience to Guildmaster mode, at least in my opinion. I think it has a lot more depth to it, but that's not to say that the Guildmaster mode is not something that you're going to spend a huge amount of time in, because you certainly will. Anyway, before going into the harrowing wilderness surrounding Gloomhaven, you'll need at least 2 mercenaries in your party, brave or greedy enough to seek out adventures in exchange for gold. And there we go. On your left, you'll find the party panel. So this is where you finally get to see the amazing choice available to you. So, starting character classes. I'm going to choose the Mindthief straight away. And he's going to be called, I have no idea, actually. Oh, no. Brain. That is terrible. I'm so sorry. That is terrible. Okay. So, apart from this, look at this. A personal quest is the mercenary's sole reason for adventuring. Once the objective is complete, the merc will retire. Beware, when mercenaries retire, they will no longer be a playable character. See? So you've got to be a bit strategic as well about choosing your quests, I suppose. And yeah, also this. Though farewells can often be bitter, some things have to move on to give way to new horizons. Completing personal quests and retiring mercenaries is the primary route to unlocking new character classes. So now you have to choose one of the 2 personal quests. So complete 6 side scenarios, or kill 1 flame demon, 1 frost demon, 1 wind demon, 1 earth demon, night demon, and 1 sun demon. I'm going to go for the 6 side scenarios. I think that's probably going to be a little bit easier for me to do, but yes, there you go. Brain has joined the party. That's 1 merc sorted, but you'll need a minimum of 2 before you can go out seeking adventure. It's important to build a party of mercs who complement each other in battle. Click on the second character slot. Okay, so then you can select. I'm gonna basically go for Brute here because I personally think he's amazing. I really like him a lot. So we're going to call him Gut Punch. Yes, he does the gut punch. That is what he does. Okay, kill 15 vermlings. Why not? That sounds like a good idea. Okay, time to do some adventuring. If you're confident with your party, click on the center to return to the map screen. Before heading out on your first quest, you should gear up. You'll notice each mercenary has a modest stash of gold. It's encouraged to take that money over to the merchant's shop and spend it on anything that might just keep you from dying. Alright, so there's the merchant. And every single one in the campaign, every single hero that you have, has a separate stash of gold. Obviously, as you saw when we first ventured into the Guildmaster mode, you can select whether they are split in terms of their stashes or whether they are shared. Personally, I like the shared, but obviously if you're playing with other people, if you're playing with friends or family, and you know, you want to have your own gold, then the campaign mode or that setting in the Guildmaster mode is probably going to be something that you'd like. Anyway, you start with 30 gold, and you can select something that you want. So I have no idea, actually. I have no idea. I guess I'll go for the poison dagger for Mr. Brain right there. And we will go for the Boots of Striding with Mr. Gut Punch, and we'll buy him a minor healing potion. Bear in mind that, as you see, you can only use them a certain amount of times before they are completely gone. So, for example, the minor healing potion you can use 4 times in total before they are exhausted. So it's a good idea to try and get some gold as much as possible. So let's go back to the world map. Gloomhaven isn't known for its well-mannered folk and good Samaritans, but there's a lot to gain from its city streets even. Haha. You can choose to partake in city encounters by clicking this button below. It's encouraged that you do this whenever you're in the city, as they often give good rewards. If you ever find a quest that looks too hard, or one you've repeatedly failed to complete, the Temple of the Great Oak can grant you its blessing, for a fair price, of course. You can choose to access the temple using this button. The first quest location is marked just north of Gloomhaven. You'll see it flagged with an icon. As you progress, more quest locations will appear across the map. To keep track of them, you can use the quest log on the right side of the screen. Alright. Yeah, so you can obviously recruit more mercenaries if you want to do that, but otherwise you can just go into a city encounter straight away. Upon returning to the city after your latest adventure, you're approached by a high-ranking guard at the gate.
"Oh, good. I'm glad to have caught you,"
the guard begins.
"The capital is falling behind on shipments of wood to Gloomhaven, so now it falls to us to pick up the slack, so that construction of important city buildings doesn't stagnate."
The guard points to the east.
"We're forming an expedition to gather logs from the corpse wood. We could use your help, either to guard against enemies or to chop down trees."
Okay, so join the expedition as a guard. And there you go. The logging expedition heads to the outskirts of the corpsewood and begins felling trees and transporting them back to Gloomhaven. You stay on your guard, patrolling the area and making sure there are no surprise attacks. A couple hours in, a tribe of vermlings appear through the woods, but you are alert and prepared, dispatching them without a single casualty. The rest of the day goes by uneventfully, and we gain 10 experience just for that. And look at that. We already have ourselves well on our way to level 2. And there's also a quest up there if we want to go up there. Obviously, there's just a bunch of bandits there and maybe a skeleton or two. And as you see, you may only complete one city encounter per visit to Gloomhaven, so you can't just repeatedly spam random encounters because they might actually be super easy or, you know, whatever the case may be. So that's something to bear in mind as well. But yeah, look at the map right here, and you can imagine, look at that small little quest icon. You can imagine all the different quests that are going to be appearing in this area, and obviously, as you can see, it's on a table. It's on a table. I love this game. I think it's great, and if you would like to check it out, there is a link in the description. Highly recommend it. It's just come out of early access after 2 years, and it is looking extremely good. And if you are into co-op tactical RPGs, or in general just into tabletops, then this is certainly something you want to check out. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.